And now to our top focus. From Ayodhya to Tamil Nadu to Lakshadweep and tomorrow to Kerala. Prime Minister Modi has started his 2024 travelling south of India. This is being seen as the big South outreach in a year that will see the big parliamentary election in May. The south of India posed not only a huge challenge for Prime Minister Modi, but also a critical one. This map on your screen will give you the big picture. BJP rules 12 out of 28 states and is in coalition in 4. Congress is ruling 3 states by itself. And then you have the left, the JDU and the TRS as few others from the India bloc ruling apart from others. And then, quite in contrast to this map that shows the BJP presence or rather absence down south. If we can just change the map and show Karnataka, now led by Congress, Tamil Nadu ruled by Congress as well as DMK, Andhra Pradesh, YSRCP, Telangana, the Congress and the Kerala with the CPIM-led Left Democratic Front. BJP lost its big south citadel, Karnataka, to Congress, at least in the assembly elections. But looking at the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, and that's the next set of data right before your screen, Karnataka was the only southern state that gave a massive backing to the BJP with a whopping 51.38% vote share, similar to the Hindi heartland vote share by the BJP. In this context, let's look at what happened in Tamil Nadu, his first southern pit stop today. Well, very poor vote share, as you can see, not just in Tamil Nadu. If you look what happened in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala, Telangana again, the state where you saw the second highest, around 20% vote share. But this largely is the big South challenge for Prime Minister Modi. But is that only a challenge, or is there also a push, not only within the BJP, but also within the opposition? But first, let's look at this report by my colleagues Dharani as well as Adarsh.
रोड शो की गूंज, इसकी तस्वीरों ने देश के कोने-कोने में आपका संदेश पहुंचा दिया।
2023 for Prime Minister Modi ended with a visit to Ayodhya. (2024) started with an outreach to the south. A 2-day visit to Tamil Nadu, Lakshadweep and Kerala started today with his arrival in the temple town of Tiruchirappalli. He was welcomed by Chief Minister M.K. Stalin and Governor R.N. Ravi.
Thiru M.K. Stalin ji to felicitate Honorable Prime Minister Thiru Narendra Modi ji.
After interacting with the students of Bharatidasan University, the Prime Minister then inaugurated the new terminal building at the Tiruchirappalli International Airport. The Sengol installed in the Parliament has made a comeback in Prime Minister's reference, and so was his praise of culture and heritage of Tamil Nadu.
नई इमारत में पवित्र सेंगोल की स्थापना की गई है। एक गुड गवर्नेंस के उस मॉडल से प्रेरणा लेने का प्रयास है जो तमिल परंपरा ने पूरे देश को दिया है।
Next on the agenda, the picturesque Lakshadweep Islands, where he laid the foundation for development projects exceeding 1100 crore rupees.
अब यहाँ अनेक सेक्टर्स में रोजगार के नए अवसर बन रहे हैं।
नरेंद्र मोदी जी
On January 3rd, he heads to Thrissur in Kerala, addressing a massive gathering of 2 lakh women at the BJP's Mahila conference, followed by roadshows and public meetings. What's crystal clear is that breaching the South Fort is crucial for तीसरी बार Modi Sarkar अब की बार 400 पार. With Modi leading the charge, the BJP spares no effort.
हिंदुस्तान के आवाज कह रही है, हिंदुस्तान का हर कोना कह रहा है, मोदी तेरा कमल खिलेगा.
The 2019 Lok Sabha numbers pinpoint BJP's southern challenge. The party won only 22% of the votes and 92 of 318 seats in non-Hindi speaking states, out of which South forms a huge chunk. In stark contrast, the BJP won roughly 44% vote share and 196 of 225 seats in the Hindi-speaking states. With Dharani in Chennai and Adarsh for Mirror Now.
A huge challenge and a big bastion, not just for the BJP, but also the opposition. That's the India bloc, among others. I'm being joined by Maya Sharma right now, who's a senior journalist, Madhavan Narayan, senior journalist, B.S. Arun, senior journalist, as well as Piyush Tanwar, the ETG research head. Thank you very much for joining us. And just a reminder to our viewers, we are not going to be debating this issue. The whole point of this show is to dig deep, is to try to understand what this really is about. Well, first to you, Madhavan Nair. You know, it's just very interesting. And as you had the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister as well as Prime Minister share the dais today, they were seated together. But often there was a reminder by the Chief Minister that this is a federal setup, that India is a federal nation. Now, is that really, laying the pitch very clear that it's definitely center versus states where they see a major role in a federal India?
That's right. Actually, I think it's very easy to understand that both parties, the BJP led by Mr. Narendra Modi and Stalin's DMK, want to have the best of political outcomes in Tamil Nadu, while they actually have to share not just the state, but even other aspects of expenditure. So there's a lot of politics around who spends what and who's spending whose money. So today we had this slightly ugly use of language by Udayanidhi Stalin, Mr. Stalin's son, saying that, look, we are not asking for somebody's father's money. It is what Tamil Nadu anyway pays as taxes, and it's our own tax money we want.
Absolutely.
Whereas Annamalai, the BJP chief in Tamil Nadu, talks about how about spending the money that you haven't spent already. So there's a lot of imagery and optics. And if you have to take a deep breath and look at how the Indian system functions, not just in terms of federal system, in terms of lawmaking powers that we all know about. For instance, agriculture is a state subject, and so is education. But if you look at the fact that big infrastructure projects, whether it's airports or highways and railways, of course, they all are essentially controlled by the central government. What Mr. Modi does is to land us in Tamil Nadu, and he's got into a habit of being there either by video presence or physical presence to inaugurate many projects which in previous governments would not have seen the Prime Minister's face alongside the central government spending. So there's a very clear-cut political message that Mr. Modi and therefore the BJP is doing it. So, so this becomes some kind of a political kabaddi match played in terms of optics, in which the DMK wants to say that, look, you're not doing us a favor. You're only giving us what we need and we deserve anyway. And we are also an economically developed state by Indian standards, and also paying huge amounts of taxes apart from being a hotbed for software and engineering.
Mr. Narayan, in fact, very valid point. As we head to 2024 elections, this actually may be quite an overriding theme vis-a-vis the center as well as states that are being ruled by the opposition. Maya Sharma, if I can just get you in, you have covered elections on elections with governments changing. Now you see the Congress in Karnataka, but in 2019, the reality of what happened to BJP in South, particularly in Karnataka, getting a vote share of over 50% was mammoth. It was a huge achievement. Do you see that change? Is there an underlying current with an assembly government changing, with a state government changing? Do you see that change in the overarching principle?
Well, of course, BJP has described Karnataka as its gateway to the south. It is the only southern state where it's ever been in power, with B.S. Yediyurappa as the first ever southern chief minister. And the 2019 Lok Sabha results were so overwhelmingly in favor of the BJP that you would think that going into these elections with 25 out of 28 MPs from the state, from the BJP, it would be a huge advantage. But of course, the results in the elections last year, the 2023 elections, seeing such a huge victory to the Congress may give some case for pause. You may wonder, does that mean there's been a change? But it has to be remembered that Karnataka really has been a state which has often voted very differently in assembly elections and in Lok Sabha elections. The voters here in Karnataka tend to view these as two very separate issues, and which is the reason why Karnataka has very often had a different government in power, a different party in power in the state than the one at the center. It's not very often a double-engine sarkar here, which is what the BJP would like to encourage. So while the Congress, absolutely huge victory for the Congress in the 2023 elections, might seem to dent the BJP's popularity, in the way Karnataka votes differently for the Assembly and the Lok Sabha doesn't mean it's a guarantee that it's going to go more the Congress's way this time around. But of course, being in power in the state, the Congress government here in Karnataka is doing what it can, especially with its promises to try and win the people over ahead of the 2024 elections. They've definitely got an eye on them when it comes to fulfilling, especially the 5 big promises they made to win the 2023 elections. It'll be very, very interesting to see whether Karnataka continues to be friendly to the BJP or whether there really has been a shift, and whether it will be what the rest of the South is, perhaps not so welcoming of the Lotus party.
Right. In fact, Piyush Tanwar, one question that really does come up is 2024 for BJP really North versus South? Or is it BJP heartland versus the rest?
If I go by the numbers, so what we see is first I want to say that in the southern state, so it contributes around 130 plus seats, something around 23% of the out of 543 seats. So what we see is right now in our current findings, we see BJP is not doing well in the southern states, but BJP in northern states and also including the west and east, they are doing absolutely fine. Especially in the Hindi heartland consisting of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, then Himachal Pradesh, we see they're sweeping. In the southern states, there's only one state where we see, or in our current findings, we see Karnataka. They're absolutely fine in Karnataka. They may lose some 5 to 6 seats, but they're fine. In Lok Sabha, there'll be a major party to win. They might get 20 to 23 seats. But in other states like southern state like Telangana, if you go by Andhra, there's no space for BJP. In Kerala, there are a lot of regional parties. There's no space for BJP. In Tamil Nadu, still we see there's no, hardly, if they would have been in alliance with the AIDMK, they might have won 1 seat or max to max 1 seat if I in our current research. But right now we see BJP at 0. In Kerala, we see BJP at 0. In Telangana, they might win 1 or 2 seats. So yes, it is actually North versus South. But in North, BJP is really doing good. But in South, they are not.
B.S. Arun, just making a shift from this North-South. If you look at North-East, when in 2014, the BJP came to power, it was barely present. But look at what has happened over the last decade, if I may so. It's literally covered the entire Northeast zone. 3 in power, 3 with allies. Then you have 1 that is with the opposition. This is a big achievement. What do you think can really work for the opposition? There are so many fracture lines within the opposition ink for that matter. But what may really work for the opposition?
Sneha,
Can it can it have pit stops for the BJP? Is it in that position?
Well, it depends. Number one, in the Northeast, BJP is in a good position with Assam and other northeastern states. But as you come, towards the further east, say West Bengal, say Jharkhand, Bihar, or Odisha, these are the states where BJP's presence is, whether they will achieve good performance is a bit doubtful. As you know, last time West Bengal BJP got 18 seats, but this time will they get 18? That's a doubtful proposition. You come to Jharkhand, there is a non-BJP government there. It's the JMM Congress which rules there. You come to Bihar, the political landscape has totally changed compared to the 2019 elections when they did very well along with JDU. But this time JDU has joined hands with RJD and these India Gathbandhan, is in all probability might do well compared to BJP, which is going alone. So compared to these issues, BJP might find a bit of an issue in not just retaining its seats, but thinking of even winning more seats. That is one compared to its stronghold in north and the western states, where it's doing phenomenally well. Like,
okay, all right, fair enough.
Estimated that
Madhavan Nair, Madhavan Narayan, in fact, this is not something that has just been cooked up for that matter. If you look at the messaging from the BJP at the center, there have been so many instances where they have been just making references to the south. Whether it was the Sendol, which is again being raised by the Prime Minister today in Tamil Nadu, or when he was in Ayodhya, he even spoke about Kerala. From Ayodhya, there was a mention of Kerala about how people are going for the Ram Yatra from Kerala, that's there within Kerala. So there have been several instances of messaging, of soft politics, of soft power, of cultural influences. All of this has been repeatedly coming up, and this possibly been one of the biggest strategy of the BJP as well, isn't it?
Yes, but I think, Sneha, the best way to understand this is to look at the RSS and its origins, from where BJP has come about. Because the RSS grew up on this early days on this ideology of Hindi, Hindu, Hindustan. So which basically they gave a lot of importance to Hindi, and they wanted Hindi to be, even today, RSS followers, if you talk to the average RSS cadre, they will tell you India's national language is Hindi, and everybody should be speaking Hindi. And that met with a huge opposition, as you witnessed even as late as last week. There were protests against
Absolutely.
Hindi
and you even had a change in the BJP stand where they said we fully support the move for Karnataka billboards, Kannada billboards.
Yeah, but that's the point I'm trying to make, Sneha, which is that they want to live down. See, they cannot be antagonizing everybody. There was the time when RSS was seen as anti-South, anti-Muslim, and anti-everything. They are comfortable with the idea of sort of being as, they're not out to, they've started some outreach towards Christians, as we witnessed last week in Kerala. And there's some outreach is also happening around Muslims. But they're particularly keen on two things. One is reaching out to southern states and emphasizing cultural links so that they could live down this image of being a Hindi heartland kind of a party. And also because they want to make India developed, and southern states are the leaders in this because they're already miles ahead of the northern states on many indicators. So that's very critical for Modi as a national leader and also as a projected global leader. And apart from that, there are political power vacuums in states like Tamil Nadu after the death of Jayalalitha, which the BJP is hoping to somehow fill with allies such as the party, Vijay Kant died last week, and there are political vacuums they want to fill there. So all this put together, and one very important point I want to make, all these put together do make BJP go that extra mile in going the south and even shedding the traditional Hindi centrism. And most important, it's very fascinating to note that southern states like Tamil Nadu, although they are the hotbed of Dravida politics, anti-Hindi politics, as well as rationalism and atheism, they also have huge cultural links to
Absolutely.
Hinduism because of its fascinating temples, whether it's Tanjore paintings or the sculptures of Madurai. Now, Modi wants to emphasize all that in such a way that he's not seen as anti-Tamil, but he wants to play a certain Hindutva image, which he very explicitly said today when he used the word cultural links and not just economic links with Tamil Nadu. So he's going that extra mile, and also because, as all other panelists have mentioned, if you have 130 seats at stake,
Right.
Either with allies as part of an NDA coalition, or on its own, maybe with some luck in Karnataka and Telangana,
Sure.
they want to make that extra inroad.
Right.
Yeah.
Maya,
Hello.
if I may just ask this, 400 is a huge claim to make. Staking claim for 400 seats is a huge claim. But if we even look at the previous tally of 303, what they managed in 2019, that by all means is also very big. But if you look at the challenge currently, if you look at states that they are not in power, whether it be what they're seeing in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, yes, it's a legacy party, it's Congress, it's always alternated. But if you look at what's happened in Tamil Nadu, in Andhra Pradesh, in West Bengal, in Kerala, these are very, very strong regional parties. I'm sorry I'm saying CPIM regional, it is a national party. But when I mean the regional position that they have, the positioning amid the vote share is massive. And that's why every state, every seat down south, which is a massive fortress that they need to breach, but anything that they may really gain is going to be a big boost for them and something that may really be a death knell for the opposition.
Well, the south of India, of course, has been resistant to the BJP by and large. I think it's also because, as previous speakers said, the BJP is to a large extent still viewed as a North Indian party, as a Hindi party, which is something which is being resisted by the southern states. But of course, the numbers are again in favor of the BJP in North India. The south of the country sends fewer MPs, far fewer MPs. And of course, if we're looking ahead into the future delimitation, it may even be a lower number as well if you're going to go population-based when it comes to seats. So while the south as a bloc may not be as pro-BJP as the north, the numbers are on the side of the north, the numbers are on the side of the northern states, the Hindi heartland states, which is where the BJP would have its focus. Yes, it would love to make progress in the south of India.
Right.
It would love to see itself as a pan-India party, and any gain here would be huge. But the basic appeal of the BJP in many places, this Hindutva appeal, is really not working. Say a state like Kerala, state like Karnataka also seemed to reject that appeal that was being made in a divisive way. And the regional parties in places like Telangana, in Andhra Pradesh, in Tamil Nadu are not really giving any scope for the BJP. But in terms of numbers, if they win the Hindi heartland, if they're doing well in the north, they can afford to perhaps not make the progress they want in the south of India. But optically, yes, for optics, they would love to have some sort of progress in these states where economically, yes, in many other factors as well, the southern states doing so much better than other states in the rest of the country.
Right. Thank you very much for joining us. This is an attempt to try and understand political issues through data, through nuances, and not just to drown all information in noise. Thank you very much for joining us for this very crucial understanding.